Hey team, hope you're all doing well. Today's topic, I want to go over a very important question that a lot of runners ask, and that question is, can you run long runs too slowly? I think it really is going to depend on your overall fitness level for sure. Of course, if you want to get faster at middle to long distance races, you have to get beyond running slow every single weekend. I'm such a huge advocate of varied pace running at very intense efforts during your long runs, and also running at very slow, very relaxed, and then running at tempo run effort, running slightly below your lactate threshold, but still running at a comfortably hard effort. You want to mix up those types of efforts throughout your long runs. Okay, so can you run long runs too slowly? They should be slow, especially when you're first building up your overall fitness. If you're doing say a 16 to 24 week buildup for say a 10 miler or a 10K, half marathon or marathon, you should not be running your long runs at fast paces during every single weekend or even every other weekend when you're just building up your overall aerobic foundation of mileage. It should be very easy, relaxed in the early first few weeks of a buildup. You shouldn't be focused on any type of really fast long runs or even varied pace long runs in the initial few weeks of a buildup. I think in the early stages of your buildup, yes, they should be run slowly, because you have to start somewhere. Okay, you're not just gonna, if you're out of shape or you're overweight, at least in terms of your overall racing weight, you're not going to go out and do 10 to 15 mile long runs at 10 seconds to 15 seconds faster or even slower than your goal race pace. So it's when you start, it's when you've already built up your aerobic foundation and you've spent 3 to 4 weeks minimum of running 60 to 65% of your max heart rate, running at easy, relaxed aerobic mileage. It's after you've done that, then you do want to start focusing on running at faster paces during your long runs. Okay, what I used to do and what helped me go from running a 2:43 marathon to a 2:19 marathon was faster long runs. Without a doubt, the hardest workout I did at my peak performance, at my peak levels of athletic performance, was the long run. It was not doing repeat miles on the track. It was not doing hill repetitions or tempo runs or anaerobic threshold runs. It was my long run, because I spent such a long time, especially when I was in great aerobic and anaerobic shape, doing anywhere from 16 miles out to around 30 miles at the longest. When you spend that much time running, and then not just running easy for that, or easy and relaxed steady running for the entire duration of that long run, but when you're running that amount of time at various speeds, running at anaerobic threshold effort, running at VO2 max effort during the long run, which is running 95 to 100% of max heart rate, when you're varying the paces of your efforts during that long of a period of time, that is extremely taxing on the body. That's why I always tell my athletes, whether they've invested in one of my training plans or one of my running courses, or they consult with me one-on-one, I always stress the importance of jogging for a minimum of between 2 and 3 days after one of those varied pace long runs. Okay, you should do one of those. I advocate doing those, a varied pace long run, every other week. Okay, so you should focus on doing a varied pace, extremely hard long run one weekend, followed the next weekend by a relaxed long run. Okay, when I say relaxed, I'm talking a jog long run. Okay, in addition, after a speed training workout, if you're doing a VO2 max workout where that's hill repetitions during the week, or maybe you're doing repeat 800s or repeat Ks on the track, after those types of hard anaerobic VO2 max efforts, you should be jogging on those easy days, because trust me, you're going to want that recovery time between each of those hard anaerobic workouts that you do throughout the week. You can't just keep pushing the body hard anaerobically and expect a high return on your time investment. You want a return on those hard workouts. So in order to keep pushing the body hard, running at threshold levels or running at VO2 max effort, which is even higher, to continue to do that over a long period of time, 8, 12, 16, out to 24 weeks, you have to make sure that you're relaxing and enjoying those easy days. Okay, That's also going to give you enough time to recover, making sure that you're hydrating well on your easy days, before, during, and after your workouts, as well as your hard workouts, getting plenty of sleep. All of these things factor into running at very high performances, running at very high levels. If you really want to take your racing and your training to the next level, and to consistently do this over several months, several years, a lot of people lose the interest, and they lose the enjoyment of what they're doing, because again, they're putting so much stress on themselves to continue to perform. There's going to be ebbs and flows. You're not going to be able to go out and perform at a very high level and to set a new personal best every single time you race. Okay, an example of this is, when I ran 2:19 for the marathon, that for me was like making an Olympic team. I trained for a decade after 2007 when I ran that time, trying to improve upon a 2:19, and I never could get close to it. The closest I ever got was 2:26 in 2011. So a little over 4 years later, I ran 2:26 at the 2011 Monumental Indianapolis Marathon. Granted, I had to jump in a porta-john while I was running with the leaders, so I lost maybe 2 to 3 minutes on that 2:26 time. I could have ran probably around 2:23 that day, but again, still several minutes over that 2:19. There's going to be times where, whether you're in high school or maybe in college or even after college, that you drop a performance that you simply may never achieve again. In terms of that, you might get close, and the reason why we love what we do as middle to long distance runners is you're always working toward that next great race. So yes, of course, can you run long runs too slowly? Yes, you can. You don't want to get in the habit of running slow and easy every single weekend, because it's going to make you a superior long slow distance runner. Okay, if your goal is to run a specific time, then you have to get beyond just running long slow distance runs every single weekend. That is a good goal, to be consistent and if your goal is just to enjoy running, to go out and run half marathons or 5Ks or 10Ks for fun and just for general fitness, and your goal isn't so much to go after a specific time, your goal is just to have fun, get in great shape, then yes, running slow is still a good solid goal for those types of athletes. Okay, this channel isn't just for athletes that are trying to run a Boston Marathon qualifying time, or trying to earn an Olympic trials qualifying standard in track and field, or make the Olympic team, or those types of athletes. I make videos for athletes that are total beginners all the way up to elite level athletes. So it's just going to be dependent on where your overall fitness level is. Again, I think runners, even if you're an elite runner, you shouldn't be doing very fast long runs in the first several weeks of a build-up. You have to first start off slow, build your overall fitness, be patient with your overall fitness level, and then start working on gradually speeding up the intensities, the paces and the intensity of your long runs. So I hope this makes sense in terms of long runs and how you should be setting them up over a 8-week out to 24-week build-up. So if you have any other questions about this topic, feel free to leave me a comment below these videos. I will definitely respond back to you. And check out the resources below my videos, as well as on RunDreamAchieve.com. They're definitely there for you to help speed up the process and to help you get to the next level in your training and racing. So I wish you all the best, and I will talk to you all in the next video.